This is for grandmas that pass knowledge down through stories and songs. Most are not with us no longer. We pay homage to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We pay homage to you. Yeah, yeah.
Born and raised in the 2024, in a time way before technology connected us all. I was raised about a click.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Empty Out the Clip, the EOTC podcast. This is episode 187. It's your boy Leti, the Ace of Fate, holding it down for another one. Joining me here in the city of Sales, the 09, the murder capital of NZ, and the heart of West Okilangi. I have the brothers, Checky Blue, aka Kaisar, Eddie, the Butcher, Maloso. Four boys, how's it going?
Yo, Maros.
Smokey.
Man, you know the drills, do some shout outs. Let's go.
Yo, shout out to Westside Fitness Boxing Crew. Man, we had a mad session on Friday. Shout out to PJ, my family, my Inga, and shout out to one of my Usos that came to my work on Friday to come see me. Shout out to my nephew Maccabee, his birthday's tomorrow. Last but not least, shout out to all the mums out there, here and in heaven. Blessings to all of you guys on Mother's Day. Seki, what's your shout out, Kaisar?
Yep, so Sunday today, shout out to the Lord Jesus Christ. Second shout out to all those mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you guys got sport. Hopefully you guys got rubbed, your feet rubbed, your back rubbed, good massage. Thank you for the love and care and the comfort that you guys bestow on your children, on our children. Thank you for being the stronghold behind the family. Thank you for also being the stronghold behind the male figures as well, keeping them in line. Yeah, konnichiwa. Yeah, Oka-san, moto rekate kusorimasu. Us. So, yeah, happy Mother's Day. Much love, much alofas. Also, my final shout out will go to my brothers out there and the Usos out there in the city of Legazpi, the Philippines. My deepest condolences to you and your family. Happy Mother's Day as well. It's not easy losing a parent, but also remember the memories, and she'll never be forgotten, but always treasured and always celebrated. Whakamanuia atua, Jesus leads in his name. Amen.
Oh man, my shout outs list is pretty hectic, man. But I'm gonna try this one out, eh? So, massive congratulations to my niece Oksana, who had her baby just the other day. Man, congratulations, babe. Yeah, you're catching up. So, what that makes four kamakis you gotta look after. Another one's to the work crew, man. To boss man Will and number one Vitale, and also to Koya and the Us Nero. Shout outs to the Usos, Miracle Vailima 49 S99. Glad that your trip down in P-Town was safe, also, and I'm glad that you met, finally been to the capital city of Tokelau. Another one's to also Wisakilangi, Zaleni. Much love to you also. Thanks for always tuning in and supporting us. Then to one of our KUB brothers, to the also happy heavenly birthday to Renari Lemalu. Nari was my big brother at Calston. He always looked up for me, and he was obviously a mentor me as a year 9, and always had a big heart. Yeah, he's dearly missed, man, and yeah, more than what feels like a decade on, still leaves a big hole in the KUB chain of brothers. And another one's a shout out to my dog also, to Tindall and his boys, Bale and Zion. Caught up with them yesterday. Yesterday at the 15 game, and met his baby Maopa. She's such a beautiful little girl. So shout out to my Manukia family over in the North Shore. Good seeing you all. And another one's to Zane Pockington, and to Dush Hakaraya, Mr. Samuela, and to those of Vern. Good to see you boys at the game yesterday. Still haven't changed. That's the way we keep things. And then to my cousin Simon and Eddie, the two Devakano dancers. Awesome seeing you guys Saturday as well. And lastly to Super Coach Paul Apulu, DHL's finest, and the Pontabi under 7s Ripper rugby team for their win over the city on Thursday night. Solid teamwork, practice makes perfect, and train hard, win hard. Never do anything half-hearted. So yeah, that wraps up my shout outs. So you can find more of our content on Spotify, Empty Out the Clip, or on our WesWes Network YouTube channel. Producer Cam's upload each week. You can find our Facebook page, Empty Out the Clip. Here you can comment, post any topics, requests, contact for the boys to talk about on the show. Just answer the questions and security will let you earn. So man, that was a hectic week of shoutouts and a hectic week in itself, man. I know I've had a hectic week, so what about you guys? How's the week been, boys?
Oh man, this week's been alright, eh? So just finished doing 13-day shift. So I'm knackered, eh? So it was my brother-in-law called me up earlier this week and said, "Oh, bro, let's do Mother's Day. Can you do the barbecue?" I was like, "Oh man," because I only get one day off. So I didn't get much sleep, eh? So I'm running on fumes right now. But nah, the whole week's just been good. Just boxing and work. But when I got home on Saturday night, just prepped all the food, got all the marinades, started marinating all the meat. Had 2 whole lamb shoulders. Just put a little bit of salt, pepper, and a little bit of oyster sauce on it, and just let it soak in. And then I did it's called a snake method, which you lay the coals like a cigarette, but 2 short ones, and just light one end, and chuck the lamb on there with a little water bath underneath, and I just had to keep checking it every 2 hours, the temp and all that. So man, I was like, I was like trying not to fall asleep today, but no, it was a good day for mum. She got a bit of cash and whatnot, and it's my nephew's birthday tomorrow, so we had a early birthday cake all set up for him. So now it was good. But yeah, one of the boys, his older brother, has been in the hospital, had a heart attack. He's responsive to taking the tubes out of his mouth, so he's talking, he's quite alert. So blessings to the Frost family. Also, condolences to one of the other boys. His mum passed away earlier this week, so just sending my love up to his ainga and whatnot. But yeah, that's been my week, eh? How about you guys?
Yeah, my week's been pretty good. Can't complain, eh? I mean, probably one of my favorite times is when it rains. So when everybody's complaining, it's probably one of my favorite times when it rains, when it pours. So I like it. So yeah. Just managed to hit the gym a couple of times in a while. So man, I was selling on the first 5 minutes, just trying to warm up there was no warm up. I just went onto the treadmill and just tried to clock in 30 minutes. It's funny, when you go into the gym and you got other people on the treadmills, you forget, how to focus properly just on your own pace. So when the people next to you are going at a faster pace, you try and keep up with them, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, right. You end up realizing that they're going at a nice pace, and I was like, holy heck, what a hero. So I had to try and slow it down. But yeah, for me, it was a win. It's in the bank there, trying to invest in yourself and in health. So yeah, another week. Try to get those deposits in again with health and more healthier and better choices, So yeah, I can't complain. It's a blessing week, yeah. Let's go again.
Well, man, my week's been funny, Like, I feel like I've only just been catching up on sleep. But finally getting the hang of it, like the hours. But unfortunately, my time will be finishing up with them. So it's my last week. I ended in my notice last week. When I spoke about catching up with one of my good friends on the Wednesday, it was actually for a job interview. So the bros promised me a job. I did the medical, passed that on the Friday, and then got into some induction work, which has been online. So that's been awesome. I can't wait to start, but it's just been sad, like having to leave. It's such a nice group of boys. So I probably won't even, realize it until I've left it, or probably a month into the job and be like, oh man, I used to work there. But nah, it's been good. But now that I'm like by saying like I finally got used to the hours, like I managed to do the lawns the other day, and I bought a leaf blower and a weed eater some time ago. It was like last year, New Year's. Me and my wife bought them for each other. So I got it particularly because the weed eater was light. It was as light as an umbrella. So that particular model is dead stock, so it's no longer available. But I know Ryobi put like a 2-year warranty on all their stuff. But here's the thing, man. Like this is a buyer beware sort of like bit of info as well. So I took the part in, right? I took the Ryobi weed eater and the battery pack. It was Lianga because with a full charge battery, no power. So I took it in, man, and Bunnings knew Lynn. So shout out to the guy Ollie, he looked after me. I knew it was their stock because I've been to Bunnings a few times and you can't buy it, like it's just not available. And what's funny is that I know is on the Consumers Guarantees Act, if they don't have the exact model, they gotta sort of go to the next one up or one similar in value. And for about 45 minutes, bro, I was just standing there like a guy, waiting for someone to actually tell me what the deal was. So they found one on the shelf. They saw it was up in the pick face. The guy brought it down, and then I heard him talk to a manager saying, "I gotta open it to check." And she goes, "Yeah, just remove the battery." And I said, "Hang on." So I went to Bunnings to get a replacement. They actually just replaced the actual. They call it the skin. So just the weed eater minus the battery and the charger. So they replaced it with that, and they told me, "Oh, it's not actually a straight swap." This is what's fucked up, though. If I had bought the blower and the battery pack and then given it to them and said, "I want a refund," they would have given me a full refund, right? And they would have given me a voucher. They wouldn't have given the cash. But then I could have just bought the same thing and got the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I'm a bit puzzled into how like they can sort of just give me the skin without the battery in the charger. Because I said to them, wouldn't it be the same as like buying a car and I'm not happy with the car? I now bought the car back and I take the battery out and put it into the new one, like the old battery into the new one. Because this is going to be a cycle. We're just going to keep going round and round again, right? They go, yeah, we'll just go with that. So I was a bit like, what the hell is this shit? Eh? I mean, I didn't want to go off with the kid. I just said, well, I'm not really happy that you opened up the box in front of me if it's a replacement. Like who the fuck does that and takes the battery out? Like, but hey, I don't know if it's a store thing or Ryobi's thing, but fucking be better, man. It didn't help that the manager came in, which is the big boss, when the guy asked him, "Oh, boss," and he says, "Oh, we had a woman come in. I don't give a fuck about what the woman did fucking yesterday. Just sort the shit out, have it on the fucking wall where it says, if the Ryobi product fails, right, we're gonna replace the skin and not give you the battery in the power pack." How the fuck does that work? But anyway, I got the weed eater. It's like 5 times better than the one I had, but it's also 5 times heavier. So it's like fuck. One of those ones. So yeah, man. But other than that, man, my week's been really pretty sick. Now that I've actually caught up on my sleep, and just excited to start the new job. If anything. But yeah, that's been my week, man. Shit is, boys. Should we get into some topics, man?
Do it.
First topic was posted by Eddie, and it was about a family feud over the ownership of a house. Do you want to share that one, Eddie?
Yeah. Yeah, this is quite interesting, this one. There's a bit of a timeline to this. So I tried to break it down as simply as I can. But so the parents take the son to court. So this is the basic timeline. So the mum and dad send money to the son to buy a house in New Zealand. They sent about 400 to 500k over, which is basically their life savings, their pension, everything. The son uses the money to buy the house, but he rents it out and he collects about $600 to $700 per week on the house. The son uses the profit to buy a second house in Flatbush. All right. Now he uses the house, the 2 houses, to obtain like loans up to 80k. See, this guy's rolling in it, right? The parents decide to sell their houses, not sell their houses, but like leave their rental in China, move to New Zealand and start the process of getting residency. And they wanted to move into the house that they gave the money for the son to buy. But instead, they move into Flatbush. The son goes, no, 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 no. You move to the house in Flatbush. So the son refuses to let them into their own house in Tiaratu, which is under his name because he used the money to buy it. His wife and the mum have an argument, and he kicks his parents out of the house. So now the parents have to get a rental. Like they can't even use their house in Tiaratu. And while they're using it in a rental, the son tries to do a sneaky and tries to sell the house in Tiaratu. So they don't have any place to get into. So the parents took the son to court, and the son's like, "Oh no, no, no! The money was a gift. When they sent the money from China, it was a gift." And the judge was like, "No, no, no! There's no way they'll send like 400 to 500K over. That's financial suicide." So luckily, the parents have won the case. But it just the reason why I shared that is it reminds me of my own experience when I was buying my family home, because I sat there and we're going through my mum's lawyer, and he comes up and he just looks at me, and he goes, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." And my mum and dad are like, "Oh, why? We're just selling the house to my son." He goes, "No, no, no, because he can kick you guys out." He said that in front of me. He said, "Your son can kick you out, and there's nothing you can do about it." And my mum and dad were like, "Oh, my son's like that. He won't do that." And the lawyer's like, "Nah, I'm not going to do it." So we ended up going to another lawyer. We had to get to use my lawyer. And how I went around that is when I brought the house off my mum and dad, I put it into a trust with my mum and dad in it. You know? Because, we're Samoans, bro. We never kick out our mum and dad or do anything like that, man. Like, we're a client-based society. So this just shows, like, man, dude, there's people that are different out there, eh? Your mom and dad try to help you get a leg up, and this is what you do? Nah, man. And, like, I've heard, like, bad stories out there out south of, like, people doing the same thing to their own cousins, grandmothers, and stuff like that. I even looked at banks and stuff, and banks are saying that, like, their kids are withdrawing their mom and dad's, like, nest eggs and stuff. So, yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys, man. Like, was a mom and dad right for taking their son to court? You know?
Man, in typical Chinese fashion, eh? Nothing new from the singers, but no.
But they're usually family based too, right?
Yeah, Chinese. That's surprising to hear. Eh?
Yo.
Chinese have similar, well, if not the same values as like Samoans. In general. So it's part of their custom. It's part of their values. So all out of greed. There's no other words to say it, but just selfishness and just greed. And yeah, pretty sad for and pretty ballsy for a son to do that to his own parents. Yeah, getting the startup money to actually buy a home for his parents, well, for his parents and the family, and then having to do that to buy another house and then get a bit of profit here and there, and then ended up going to court. Pretty sad. It's a sad thing to hear, eh? When you get kids and parents having to go to court to settle a a dispute like this, eh? Man, I just got no respect for the son, and man, I'm happy that the parents at the end of the day won the court case. Yeah, but there's other stories you heard. Yeah, I heard a few stories like that as well. Yeah, it's disgusting, man. There's this sort of people, man. I'm glad I don't have friends like that. I mean, I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But even if they have, I say, fuck, sorry, man, you're a shark cat. Yeah. Yeah. And they complain later. But yeah, nah, man. What's your thoughts, Let's?
Oh man, because I've experienced it. I think it's like fuck this. Like, I mean, money is the root of all evil, bro. Like, especially in families, bro. Like, people, even when it's in a trust, man. Like, it fucking gets ugly. Eh? Like, I think it's that how people say everyone has that. Like they say, this generation has a sense of entitlement. Like, when you lose your parents, I know that much. Everyone has that sense of entitlement. Everyone thinks like, oh, I did this, or I was the one, I was this. And I think at the end of the day, it's almost like it's not worth the time and stress. It's not. And depending on who's in their trust or who inherits like your parents' estate, man, bro, it divides and conquers everyone, man. Honestly, and it's not even with the time of day, bro. Like I never lost sleep over it. Like my parents' estate being sold, but the one thing it did do to me and my siblings was that it created a divide. And like now me and my older brothers, we hardly talk. But the way I envisioned my parents would be looking at how we've done things was that, and I honestly, I tell people, man, like now, whatever you do, don't ever use a perpetual guardian. So all of these GoFundMe's that are funded by perpetual guardian, fucking run, stay clear from those motherfuckers. They are fucking leeches, man. They take 20 to 24% of whatever the estate is worth as a premium cut. So as long, and that's for every year that it took over, the establishment hasn't, like the estate hasn't been settled. So imagine how much of these fuckers took from us, man, for 2 years. All because the greed of people in my family, because they couldn't come to an arrangement, you know? And what's funny is that everyone got crumbs. Everyone got crumbs, bro. And I think the biggest lesson in it was that it wasn't even when we were fucking selling in the first place. You know what I mean? You're better off loaning against your house. Fucking, you know, the mortgage broker's gonna understand. You sit down and arrange a payment. Fucking, he's still in your house. You know, just like how this guy would have done it. But all he's done is he's done it against the wrong people, bro. It's the people that gave you life. Like, where in your right mind did you think you were gonna kick your parents out and get away with fucking gambling their money away, whatever you did, to think that you were gonna end up owning that house? Like, what a fucking idiot. He's a muppet. But see, that's the thing about paper traces, right? They obviously would have seen the money was going into his account. If he'd have done it with Bitcoin, fuck, he would have got away with it. What a fucking dumbass. So you're a dumbass for fucking doing that to your parents. And that's karma, man. Karma turned around and fucking geared on that guy's head, and he's cooked it in his plate and ate it. So if he's done his throat fucking the way it did, bro. Shit. In the famous words of the Hollywood husband, yeah, male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's ugly, yeah. Like, man, kicking your own parents out for the greed of money, man. I think that's not the way it works, eh? That's not the way it works, bro.
Or with anything, the way with a lot of families, especially with the stories that you hear with Polynesian families, it's always got something to do with money, eh? Something to do with money, man. What's the best way to get out of that situation regardless of the topic? What's the best way to get out of that situation if it's a family thing? Yeah, for me personally, I'll just say, man, I don't want nothing. As tired as it, man, I don't want a piece of the pie.
Cut your losses.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll just say, man, I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
I'll walk away happy. I could put my head down to the pillow and sleep.
Well, that's it. Like, if you're not losing sleep every day, and then you really think about it, it's like, is it worth you not talking to your siblings?
Not at all, man. Not
like,
at all.
well, I haven't spoken to my brothers fucking in years, man. But like, I'm not losing sleep over it. Like, I feel for them. I feel for them because I feel sorry for them, you know. But I miss my brothers, you know. But like, it's a two-way street, though. Hey, fucking technology's at the fingertips, bro. Fucking, they can look me up, you know. But they choose not to. So be it, man. We'll say, I'm fucking living fine, man. I'm a gungy now and then when I hear music, but hey,
comes back to the saying, like, money changes people. Like,
bro, money changes everyone.
I've seen it so many times. It's crazy, man. Like, man, you know, I'm not well off, you know, but when it comes to especially my niece and nephew, sorry, I don't care if my bank account's empty. Like, you know, I always spoil those kids, and that's a weakness for me, you know, especially my nieces, sorry, and my godson too. But if you let money come in between family, sorry, that's a real judge on your character, you know, like shows that material things. I mean, like, at the end of the day, you know, we can't take it with us. We can't take the money with us. Man, I've blown so much cash over the years when I was young, but I live my life, and like seeing my friends, family enjoy the money that I've earned. Oh man, me and KFC, you know, I don't mind paying 200 KFC. I might eat 2-minute noodles for the remainder of the week. But fucking seeing them happy, eat the rewards of my labor, all good.
Yeah.
It's a challenging one alone, eh?
Yo.
You're right, eh? Money does change people, eh? But that's what I was gonna say too. It comes down to the test of your character at the end of the day. That's a good one. That's a hard one, yeah. But at the end of the day, for me personally, yeah, I'll just fuck, man. If I won $1 million or $1 billion, shit, man, I'll be out there fucking feeding the homeless. Just trying to do what I can. Just to share that experience of comfort. Because that's all it is. It's just a temporary comfort. It's a temporary satisfaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's just look at it this way. What an expensive lesson to learn, no? Expensive life lesson to learn.
Nice.
Shoot, boys, we move on to the next one. But I don't know if anyone's seen it, but anyone who hasn't seen it, you can jump on Marae and have a good watch of something that came up in the papers. Well, New Zealand Herald preached as bodies in black bags, and it had to be corrected. The Tipene Funeral directors ended up writing a Facebook post and reshared it, and then they had the opportunity to talk on Marae about it, and it was their personal grievance with one of their former employees. I shared that one because I'll take the opportunity to go first and share about it. Francis Tipene is probably one of the greatest, or he's probably the best funeral director ever, and I've seen a few of them in my time, like the time that I've been alive. He looked after my old man, and he done my mum as well. We were actually fortunate enough. I had his direct number and got him to come and uplift my mum from home, and just the care that this guy does with his work, man. Like, there's no one else in the industry like him. It's like if you're amazed just watching the show through the lens, imagine that magnified time 100, and when he's in your presence and in your house, because everything he does is beyond the book. There's no manual for the stuff that he does, Just sadly, with the success of the TV show, The Casketeers, and just what has happened with his business, he had what looks to be a disgruntled employee, and she's obviously ripped him off for what maybe $20,000, and it was over about 4-year period. Sadly, like, I've had the services of Nonna, and she's actually been good, done good by us, both for my dad's funeral and my auntie Lisa's funeral. Understanding like the window of where she would have been in her head about it all, I think personally fell on greed. I think maybe she thought, okay, they're gonna be on Netflix, maybe some of that's gonna be filtered down to us. I personally feel like she was like maybe not paid, or she didn't have a sit down and conversation about what she's possibly worth to the business, and this is why she probably went upon herself and acted the way she acted out. Like, some of the tests that she required for COVID, and even the fine, was pretty gobsmacking, but I mean, even just the reason why they ended up in the paper, and that was the unsealed liner of the coffin that the council had actually rung the funeral directors to deal with, which was like another big blow, to the Tipene Funeral services. But otherwise, like, Francis is the best in the game, man, and there's no one in the world that does funerals like him. I wish him all the best. He's still the man. Just because you got one bad egg in the bunch in the baker's dozen, man, doesn't mean that your business is any worse. It was just one person's actions that's obviously drowned the whole team. So I wish him all the best. But yeah, I personally felt like Nana was just maybe felt like she deserved a bit more and wasn't happy, and then decided to rip them off. Like such a lovely couple as well. But I'll throw it over to you guys. What do you guys think? What was your fellas' reaction to seeing what was on Marae?
Yeah, I only caught the highlights on I came on social media with the first time, and then read a little article on the papers in it. So Tipene Funeral Directors, the one in Henderson's related as well, isn't it? Are they the same company?
Yeah, same business.
Same business, yeah. So yeah, you're right, man. They're very professional in what they do. I mean, they did my father's one as well, just recently. Professional in what they do, very supportive and everything. So yeah, shout outs to Tipene Funeral Directors. Yeah, you guys most definitely set the bar high and respectfully too. Respectfully, much respect to what you guys do and respectfully how you guys just turn up on site and show that respect. To cultures, you know. So big shout outs to you. Yeah, with the person and uh that was supposedly to be their right hand man sort of thing. I think Greed did most definitely play the big part of it. But to be honest, regardless, she made the choice, man. She made the choice to face these people face to face and then ask them, um, for that extra fee on top of what they've already paid. And to my understanding, it wasn't black rubbish bags, or anything like this. To my understanding, they did use plastic bags, but which is like a bodysuit bag, right? And then they put them in, but they put the lining in. They put them in bodysuit plastic bags, and then they put them in the coffin with the lining. But correct me if I'm wrong. There was no lining in there. It was just plastic bags, right?
Yeah, they hadn't used a steel liner
Mm,
for the inside of the wooden casket, which is I
mm,
didn't
mm.
realize was a thing. But yeah, that
Yeah.
because the body over time would have been leaking fluids.
Especially because it's above the ground. So that's
Yeah.
by law they gotta have that procedure of the body bags, which is
Mm.
plastic, and then the liner within the casket, because the body rests on top. It's in what do you call it? What do you call those buildings?
In the
Those
mausoleum.
mausoleums. Yeah. So man, I think it was a blessing for the for the floods to happen in some areas, You know,
Yeah, man. Well, imagine,
otherwise,
eh?
yeah.
She probably would
Otherwise,
have
it wouldn't happen.
carried on.
But also, I feel for the cemetery workers, at White Committee, having to find that, and then they must be still in counselling today. Yeah, not an easy find, when you when it's a 9 to 5 job for you, and then you got to go around the whole cemetery. That's a massive cemetery too, by the way, White Committee, and then to find the mausoleums flooded out and the bodies broken out of the caskets as well, and just finding that it's just in plastic bags and no linings. Yeah, that's a massive disrespect and trust as well to the families that put their trust into the funeral directors. So, man, no excuses, To be honest, no excuses if you're gonna take the risk and roll the dice, man. be prepared to be prepared to be the consequences as well that come with it. Like the old saying is, yeah, playing that sort of hustle that's illegal. Yeah, it's fast money, but it's the quickest way to go to jail as well. Good luck, buddy. So yeah. So nah, man, just pure greed. She knew what she was doing, man. There's no excuse for that. Man, putting somebody in that situation and then having to talk to them face to face, and then just disrespectful, especially when you're a person of a culture. She should know better than that. So wish you all the best, man. Now it's time to do the time. Over
Yeah,
to you. Oos.
it's yeah. I've never dealt with Tipene. I've had family that have, and the service looks really good. They look really professional and real empathetic when they do things. I've always dealt with Haven Falls, which was Inga's old spot on View Road. So they did my dad, and also my younger brother. So we've always dealt with them. Great bunch of dudes, eh? I think they're all moldy, but nah, real empathetic in how they do things. And when I watch a few episodes of Casketeers, very similar vibe. Even their buckalage, she gave off that vibe of she like gave like a personal touch in the way she did things. Yeah, for her to do something like that, um, especially during um, times where we are really vulnerable. And we're not entirely thinking straight. We don't really question things in that time. We just say yes, yeah, we'll pay it. No worries, just do it. We just want to get through that grief period. Is it greed? I don't know. She could be facing some stuff in the background that we don't know about, that she needed money to cover. Maybe we don't know her intentions or what her thought process was when she was doing this. I'm not saying it as an excuse to let her off it, but um, time will tell why she did it. But I just want to make a little shout out to all the families that were affected by this. Our blessings and our thoughts go out to you guys, and we're sorry that this has happened to you guys, and you may be over that grief hurdle, and then this has come back, and you've had to reopen some trauma. So our thoughts are definitely with you guys, and sending blessings from a place of love and support. Yeah, I don't wish this on anyone, but yeah, we walk different paths. Of we don't know people's trauma and what they go through. So I don't want to talk ill of the living and talk ill of the dead. So nah, man. Hope she finds the peace that she needs, and I hope that the families find peace as well. But yeah, I just want to send positive vibes to everyone, and yeah, hopefully this little doco that they did to interview the Tipene's funeral directors will open up a light, and will show that they weren't at fault. He took some of the blame, which I think he didn't need to. He did everything as a manager would do against a staff member that broke the rules. So if you guys, have the unfortunate situation of having to pass one, I mean, Tipene is always there. Haven Falls is another good one. But yeah, there's so many out there that are truly professional and empathetic in what they do. Yeah, those are my thoughts on this. Sick.
Nice, Us. I'll go to our last topic. It was shared by you, Kaisar. So, was it Simon Brown, the MPs we're bringing back a total ban on prisoner voting because being a member of society comes with rights and responsibilities. And if you're in prison, you lose that right, including being able to vote. Like, I think that sounds stupid, eh? But we'll start with you, Kaisar. Like, break it down for us. Also. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely stupid. I mean, if it was Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith, I mean, if he's trying to prove a point, he's most definitely ruffled a few feathers in that area. But it goes way back. That bill was like on and off the table all the time as far as 2015, even before 2015 as well. I mean, in 2015, the High Court basically blanketed a ban on prisoner voting, which the High Court said it was unjustified limitations on the rights that protected the New Zealand citizens, and prisoners are the same. They're New Zealand citizens. They have equality rights as well. So the High Court suggested that it's unjustified and it goes against the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights Act. So then in 2025, Justice Minister comes along and he says, yes, the ones that can that serve less than 3 years can still have the right to vote, but the ones that have longer sentences, they like to strip those rights away from them. They like to strip their abilities away from them. To me personally, it doesn't make sense, because it's like you're taking away. They're doing time, right? Right. They've been sentenced, so they're in there. They're doing their time, and then you're saying to the prisoners that long sentences that you can't vote. Man, that's like taking away their freedom of speech, their voice to say something. So that's like saying that what? So the same people, the same system uh that that puts us in jail, you're taking away our rights to actually challenge the same system that actually puts us there. That doesn't make sense, man. You know, that just doesn't make sense. It's like far out, man. It's like you're going back to the flipping 1800s days. You know. So yeah, I mean. It was challenged again. I think in 2019, it was challenged by the Attorney Tribunal. Was one of them that challenged it, and in 2019 they challenged that to reverse that bill. So when it came to mid 2020, under the Labour Party, they took it off. Yeah, they took it off, and they said nah, and stuff that all citizens, prisoners are citizens too, so they have a right to have a say. They have a right to voice. They have a right to vote as well. So yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, I know that the government is still trying to come up with that super prison, right? So I think, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, eh? I mean, I know in America, a majority of the states, man, they they need those votes from prisoners as well. You know, they even do campaigns about it. Promoting that stuff for prisoners. Oh, don't forget to vote. It's a voting year this year. Every vote counts and every voice counts. You take that away from prisoners. I mean, what else can they do if they don't agree with something, and then you strip away their rights to vote? It's like I said, it's like stripping away their voice. Their rights to say something. Goes against their ability and their human rights anyway. So yeah. So, like I said, the government, the National Party, with James, the Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith, 2025, he's put it back on the table, and he's saying, "No, we're going to strip it off." Yeah, those that serve longer sentences do not have the right to participate in the voting elections. Yeah, what's your thoughts, boys?
Yeah, no, it is a sticky situation because, like, people would argue that the prisoners, especially the ones that have taken a person's life or something like that, don't deserve a vote because they've silenced the vote of the person that they've offended against. But it's a sticky situation because we're all covered under the Human Rights Bill, so everyone's entitled to vote. So you can't really take away the vote of the prisoners, right? Because yeah, it's really hard because 50% of the general vote, off the top of my head, I think are Māori. And then I read somewhere that over 50% of the prison population are Māori Pacific Islander. So that's a large Polynesian voice that we're silencing. We talk about prisoners that finish their time reintegrated into society, like they're still part of society when they come back. But yet, if we take away their votes, how are they still part of society? As a functioning member of what we do. People would argue that, like, this is under true democracy, where everyone votes for one person to dictate to the rest of the population how to govern our money. It is a tough one. Personally, my personal opinion is we have to let them vote. It's, if they're in there trying to rehabilitate and try to change their ways, and we say to them, look, we're not going to let you vote because you're in here. What does that say to the prisoner's mindset? Like, oh, fuck, I'm being put in this box and, shoved aside, and I don't have a voice anymore. You can't do that to them. That's just, they're stuck in there for 3, 4 years, 5 years, who knows? And you hit them with that. Maybe it's not a big thing for prisoners. Maybe they don't give a fuck. I don't know. But yeah, we live by a certain group of laws that are the pillars of society. And once you start chipping away at those pillars, society will crumble. Yeah, that's my 10 cents on that. We can't there are laws that are etched in stone that we cannot change. Seki.
No, I agree. Agree with both opinions, man. I sort of feel that taking the country backwards isn't for a brighter future moving forward, because whether Labour had done it just to sway more votes in favour for them, for the prisoners when they lifted it, or is just a bargaining sort of way for National to keep their voters happy by going to push back on this to silence that that argument about these are the crims. Whereas from a human perspective, they're doing the time for their crimes. Yet we've sort of said, oh look, people have done the whole rehabilitation thing. They've come out. They're trying to go on the street. Let's do that. But yeah, it's a bit to me, it's a bit stupid. It's screaming like, fuck! Don't take us 10 years back again. Like, why didn't National do that the last time they were in power? They could have written something like, if this was America, they probably would have written it in stone. It cannot be reversed, But you just sort of feel like, bro, it's a giant leap to take us all backwards, and like, imagine if we went to the next election and that was the difference, those votes, and then went the other way for National. Like, fuck, they'll be sitting on they'll be literally hung on that sword. Like, fucking, they pretty much stabbed themselves for doing it. It will be interesting, next election. Like, but yeah, that's my take on it. Like, yeah, whether they're doing it just for a political stunt, trying to sway more voters and keep them honest and keep them, because they probably would have got some sort of feedback and engagement about it, though, like what's happening. Because like when you start doing that, like the public services and the stuff that we pay taxes for, that's just another pool of money to either throw at them or take away from them, right? Because these people got to eventually come back into society. But to remove the vote, that's almost like fucking crippling everyone. Like, you don't get all work to pay taxes and not have a say about how you want your money, where the money should be allocated. Like, fuck. Like, these guys are doing time, but like, they're paying for it. Like, literally not being in society and acting as a full-on human. Like, that's fucking tough. Like, I know guys that are on home detention, fuck, they feel that way. And that's the mental strain on them. Like, what, do we want to throw more fucking money at my king and that stuff? It's like, come on, man. Yeah, that's what I mean by taking us 10 steps backwards. It's like chucking more money at another problem just to band-aid another problem. Like, yeah, I think, killing the vote for the prisoners ain't the way to do it, I reckon. There's probably a better way to do it.
Oh,
But that's my 2 cents.
Extremely a better way to do it, because at the end of the day, it should be a system or government that, whether it's national or Labour, be part of a situation that helps, supports, repairs, and develops and heals. Yeah. Rather than bringing this bullshit in and then stripping away their rights, to vote. It's like stripping away their voice to say something. It doesn't make sense, because what do they have to go through another process when they come out? And then it's going to be another couple of years. Or tick the box. Have you served time? Or if, as a matter of fact, you're still not qualified to vote, but you've done the time. You've paid for the crime.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, that's what I mean. It goes back to like, wow, are we going back to 18th century, or bring it further up? Are we going back to the Muldoon days? It's pretty much equivalent to the Dawn Raids, And once again, it's under National Party. Yeah. So it's crap. It's crap, man. And it's a smart move too, because what the highest population in there is Maori and Pacific Islanders. So, well, guess what? Who you know who they got to vote for, right?
I think the most powerful step in redemption is taking control of your life. The freedom of choice. That's the most strongest feeling and emotion you can have, especially when you want to change things. When you want to change things and you take it by the reins and you take control of your life, that is powerful. how can that feeling come into your mind if you can't even vote when you're in prison? How can you change your life if the most simplest things that you have control of is no longer within your grasp? That is a powerful thought.
Hard, bro. Well, be interesting to hear the insight of what the prisoners in this yarn about it, right? Because to be a fly on the wall inside a prison to hear about this being floating around, like I wonder how it is. Like, hopefully then I'll be didn't give a fuck anyway. But for those who really would wanna, say, ah man, things gotta change, bro. Like things gotta change. Like more funding needs to be allocated to corrections, or more funding needs to go into rehab and mental health. Like a lot of guys would be screaming that mental health and to be able to fit back into society, Card.
Yeah. A big percentage of that inside will be the young ones that wouldn't give a fuck. But that's because they're uneducated in that. But once they are educated, and then they'll know that it is valued. You have a value. You have responsibility to yourself. You want to make change, then you got to be in there to vote. With the rest of us, because every number counts. Yeah, the older ones inside there, they understand. They've been there long enough to understand how everything works. Yeah, that's a challenging one, eh? But yeah, crazy times we live in.
Thank you, boys. Well, I didn't put this on the program, but because we were supposed to record on Friday, but a weekend rapper sports, man. We catch any other games over the weekend?
Good rapper sports.
Is that a woeful my boys? Is it?
The
It's probably the
mighty Broncos.
most shared social bit of the game, eh?
We just got manhandled. The last 10 minutes against Latrell Mitchell, Wayne Bennett as the coach. Solid, man. But you know what? I had to talk to the Broncos management. We just want to keep the competition healthy. We just want to keep it healthy, man. We want to keep you guys on your toes. But awesome win from the Rabbits.
Nice.
Man, this, especially for rugby league, there's been a theme going on, where the team that leads in the first half's been losing. Apart from the Storm, they had a record win against the Tigers, but it's like goes to show that saying game of two halves, man, it's so true. So if you're ahead by 20, man, don't take the foot off the pedal, because you'll end up like my poor Broncos, man. How about you guys?
That was the Warriors last week, eh?
Yo.
Fuck. We had a trigger game. Shit. And they
Even
played the Cowboys.
this week, the Warriors won by one point.
What's the table looking at? It's round 9. Is it round 9? No?
Yeah, round 9 now. Yo.
What's the table looking at? Warriors.
Warriors in the top.
Warriors at the top.
Or third?
Yep.
Yo.
Eagles second, yeah. Where's Panthers on the table?
It's going Bulldogs, Warriors, Storm, Raiders, Sharks, Cowboys, Broncos, Sea Eagles. That's your top 8.
Oh.
And then Roosters, West Tigers, Rabbitohs, Dolphins, Dragons, Knights, Titans, Panthers, and then the Eels.
Well, at least Pharaoh will have a good game against the Panthers, because we always roll them on the important games. See the last game of the round. You saw us do it last year, mate. Oh, there's probably more packed than the semi-finals, mate. I didn't catch any league, but I did watch some of the highlights of the Super Rugby round.
Yo.
And I'll tell you, would it be the Highlanders in the Monarch game, bro? Shout out to Miracle Way, to Aston 49. Like, he was saying, "Oh, boys, I think I've dropped his ship." I was like, "What are you doing, mate?" Bro, that Blues, mate. I think I'm with you. Also, I'm already 1 foot on the beach at the moment, bro. I can't swim with the Blues anymore, bro. Honestly, I just five, man. It's like, it's painful, eh? Even though like the win was a win, but it's like, nah, man. Like the back three, like I always talk about, bro. Our flankers, bro, they need to be on, bro. If our flankers ain't on, bro, the Blues ain't shit, man. But bro, that Monarch game was good, eh? Like, fuck. And it all came off that one, the kick, it's just this, bro, there's Fia Poko, that Fia. Don't worry, man, it's okay. I got it. Next minute. I wanna go home.
I think that was last week's. This week Moana got a bye. So, man, Moana's top 6, I think.
Wow,
Man.
top
So,
6.
but the Blues, isn't it the Blues like possible in the top 8? Like, that's the thing
Oh,
about Super Rugby because it's like there's only what the set amount of teams, and then anyone like wasn't there a season where the Drua were like second from the bottom and they still made the quarters? Like, what
yo.
the like,
Shit.
man?
So the top 6 is Chiefs, Brumbies, Crusaders, Reds, Blues at 5th. Hurricanes round out the top 6, but Moana's sitting on 7th, just outside.
Wow.
So they got a
Man.
chance to make it in there.
Not surprising, for those teams to make the top 5 and the top 6. But Moana in the top 7, beautiful, man, beautiful. I also heard on the Super Raka B too. Only Moana Nu, yeah. For the Crusaders is making a bit of noise too, eh? Up and coming rookie. So yeah. Big shout out to him. Keep an eye out for him for the future.
The Chiefs and Crusaders they played this weekend, was it?
Yeah.
So that was probably the only highlights reel that I watched that was probably up to date. So all I can say is like, bro, what is up with the New Zealand teams fussing each other, eh?
Yo.
Sorry. Oh no, man, like So the Chiefs won that, eh? The Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah. Chiefs won.
But you know what's gonna happen, huh? Yeah, show that form in the final. If they make the final, the Chiefs ain't gonna win, bro. I know that much.
Well, Moana and Blues play this Saturday, 17th of May.
Nice.
So it's Moana's home field now.
So what's our predictions, boys? So I can put a Leti 20 on it. Let's go, Eddie. What's your prediction on the Moana
I
Okilani
say
game?
Blues. I reckon Blues will still win it.
Blues by so give us a head-to-head, a halftime, and a margin. Let's go.
Ooh. I reckon at halftime, Blues 15-5. Try scorers will be I'll say Talea, Clark, and probably I say Eklund. Those will be my 3 try scorers. And then it'll finish with the Blues. I think the Blues should break away, but I'll say they'll just win 12 and under.
12 and under. Whoa. Okay, let me do mine before I forget. Hold up, Kaisar. I'm gonna go Moana to lead at halftime. Moana to win 12 and under. Ari to definitely score. And I'm gonna put $20 on it. The shout out to Mickey for telling me Ari can only guarantee 100 on Ari, bro. He'll get over the line. Okay, Kaisar, pick your head to head.
Shucks, that's a hard one, eh? Man, my heart's for both teams, man. But I'm going with Leti on that one, man. Yeah, going with Leti on that one as well, man. It's a good call.
Imagine if this paid $5. $5 at halftime head to head. Man, it's paying $2, bro. That's triple. That's easy. What?
Whoever's the social media person for Moana Pacifica, you need a pay rise because, like, I saw one of the videos, and it was the old coach for the Blues. He's one of the panelists. Fuck, his name's up there. He deals with mental health. Damn, the name's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, he was talking about Adi Severe joining Moana and how bad it's gonna look for the All Black. That's gonna be John Kerwin. So producer Cam.
I guess you get that name.
And he was talking about how Adi Severe will suffer if he plays for Moana, and how bad his game would be when he comes back to the All Blacks, and Moana will be sitting on the bottom. Ha, 7.
Yeah. They're pissed off now.
Wait. But do you think JK said it just to make Adi be the best man in the Super Rugby competition?
I hope so.
Makes you wonder, eh? Make you wonder.
Hard.
So write that down, somebody. Like, me and Kaisar gonna go put a lazy 20. We might double it. Might put 40 on. That is us, man. That is us on the bus.
Yo.
Also on that note, man, just to throw in there, Perth, eh? They've got the bid for joining the NRA in 2027, yeah?
Bears.
Damn.
Fuck, I feel sorry for him against that game, bro. Shit.
Yo.
Damn.
Even just in Australia, that's more than 4 or 5 hours flight, eh?
Yeah, but it's good for the comp, though. Yeah, it's growing. extending. Perfect, about time. Yeah. Also, just want to follow up on that one. Shout out to Navajo Sterling. Yeah, versus Iron Islam. Yeah, UFC 315. So shout out to Navajo Sterling. He's the only Kiwi on that card for tonight. I think the fight's already happened. It's just happened probably about a good half an hour ago. So age 27, man, 6'4" in height, 205 pounds, light heavyweight division. I think this is his second walkout for the UFC, second fight for the UFC roster, and his first pay-per-view as well on a pay-per-view card. So that's exposure for him. That's exposure for him, man. And this guy's exciting, man. Keep an eye out for him, man. I think he's represent. Oh, he is. He's coming out of CKB. CKB, one of the best clubs in MMA on this side of the world.
Nice.
Main event is welterweight. Not too fussed about the main event. Is Bella Muhammad versus the Aussie boy, Jack Delamana. Yeah, Delamanlia. Yeah, so Aussie boy was ranked number 6, I think, and he gets a chance to fight this title fight tonight on the main card. Kudos to him, man. Hopefully he does the job. Certainly, hopefully he does the job, man. But then, Hoy Aldo Jr., UFC Hall of Famer, 2-time featherweight champion as well. He's on the co-main event. Far out, this guy, man. He's an old veteran. He fought Conor McGregor as well.
Yeah.
So Hall of Famer, 2-time featherweight champion. Yeah, man, what a legend. He should actually be retired like ages ago, since yesterday. But he's still in there, man, making up the numbers. Hopefully he's getting paid his worth too.
Yo.
Yeah, man. That's me, man. Shout out to the UFC 315.
Hey, man. Comments Corner. What do you got for us, Eddie?
Oh man, not much from Comments Corner. One of the Usos, K Horse 69, he was saying one of the actors that could be the De Niro of our generation is Tom Hardy. With what he does in his range of acting, but also
Nice.
K Horse also brought up the Vodafone free texting weekends and how everyone used to on Sundays listening to love songs to midnight,
that was us.
texting the ladies for the top up because free textings would be cut off. So shout out to K Horse. So hey, bring back memories.
Shout out to K Horse.
Yo.
Oh man.
Also Vailima 49. He's a blues fan, but he's getting tempted by Moana Pacifica, and he wants us to join the movement.
Yeah, we already stepped off the blues bagels.
And yeah, and also so we asked the question, what's your top 5 music artists of all time? It's too hard. It's too hard.
Nah,
and
it's
it's
easy,
hard
man.
to
It's
pick.
easy.
But just a quick one. I picked Michael Jackson, T-Pain, Boyz II Men, Usher, and the Bee Gees. But that's just a rough one. But like, there's so many that I could change and swap in there. But yeah.
My man, sorry, there's some mixed up emotions there. You need some help, brother. You need some fucking help.
There's no theme.
Fuck.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Kaisar.
what's
That's
your
a hard
5?
one too of all time. Man, fucking
Just a rough one.
just a rough one, eh? Off the head, eh? So
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Sam Cooke. Oh man, let's do it.
Sorry, who hurt you?
Yeah, nobody. I was making babies during this. Man, next, it's good.
I'm gonna go. Here it is. UB40, Toots and the Maytals, Dr. Hook, Bob Marley.
Oh yeah,
Bob Marley, and then I'm gonna say, man,
of all time.
Shucks. Because the reason why I'm drawn to that is because of the life stuff, their life stuff. but I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Hmm.
People, man. Tomorrow, people. Gonna keep it
Tomorrow
local, man. For
people.
New Zealand Music Month. For New Zealand
Yo,
Music Month.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow
Yeah, so that's
people.
my top 5, man. That
so
was just off the
sick.
top of my head too.
Nice, Zeus. But yeah,
That's
that's
that,
this
that's
week for
that's good emotions. Good
good
emotions.
emotions. So that's this week for Comments Corner.
Charles. I know we're doing good for time, but I don't know if you've seen, but there's a post up on social media about a guy in America who had his son killed, and it was reckless, man. So apparently, like 6 seconds into his son being chased by police while he's in a vehicle, the vehicle was
Mm.
registered stolen. They then obviously realized they're being chased by the cops, and then they, typical what happens in America or typical what happens anywhere when the car's stolen, the car stops and every man for himself. But then 6 seconds into the chase, the police officer caught obviously chasing after this man's son, took a pistol out, no taser, said there's no taser. And if he's running in the opposite direction, well, he obviously doesn't have a weapon on him, and then he shoots the man's son dead. The very next day, the father then takes the action, takes it upon himself after realizing that he had watched the footage of a son being pretty much executed, and runs over a vet of the police force for 33 years, runs him down while the man was acting security parking warden outside a graduation, and kills this dude. And then appears in the court that he's stood there with what seems like a wall of police officers standing inside the courtroom while this guy's being processed. Throw it over
Yeah.
to you both, man. Who's going first? Let's go, Kaisar.
Yeah, I commented on that one. I think I said two wrongs don't make a right. But a father's judgment and reaction is very unpredictable. Very unpredictable. A love of a father can go far and beyond, right? Even if it means breaking the law. So what he's done, like I said, two wrongs don't make a right. And to have a wall of police, in the courthouse, in the courtroom, man, how's the courthouse approve that? How does the judge even let that pass? Is it an intimidation tactic for the state police? Are they all in it together? Are they all, connected? Do they know each other personally? But big kudos for the father to, I don't approve of what he did, but what I'm saying is that he held his own. In his mind, he held his own, and it's just the father's love and reaction to go far and beyond. If you guys are gonna play their way, be warned, eh? A father can go. It's so far. He might be a violent person at the end of the day. I don't know who he is, but it's just a natural father's reaction for the love of his son that's just been taken away. And could have been saved, could have been under different circumstances, could have been still here today if the copper didn't pull out the gun. I don't know the full story behind that, whether the son had a weapon or whether his friends in the car had a weapon. But shit, man, what a way to go out, eh? How old was the guy? How old was the guy's son? He was still in school, right?
He was 18, eh?
He was 18. He played footy, eh? He played American football or something, eh? But
Aspiring
either way,
athlete.
inspiring athlete. Yeah, either way, man. Man, the cops in America, man. I know all you cops are not like that, but it's just a ongoing history since the days of Rodney King. Since the days of Rodney King, man. Even before the days of Rodney King. So, man, America, man, you fucked up, man. Fuck.
Messed up,
In New Zealand, it's questionable as well. But still, we have the best policing in the world, I believe, here in New Zealand. Here in New Zealand, especially when they don't walk around with a gun on their hip. That's a skill. That's a talent. You know what I mean? For coppers here to be trained not to wear a gun around their hip. So America, take note of that. Take note of that. USA. Yeah.
Give
Over
Butch,
to you.
give it to us, bro.
Man, these cops, man, they receive the top training in high stress situations. So How do you pull a gun out in 6 seconds and gun down this kid from stealing a vehicle? Yes, if it was armed robbery and they were armed with guns, yes, of course. Like, but the level of force to the level of threat and danger needs to be reevaluated in the US and how they do things, because what they're doing now is not working. How do you build a relationship between the police and the community when you're just pulling a gun out 6 seconds and gunning down this kid? Nah, there's something wrong here with the training. Also, what the father did, that was wrong too. I know police officers, some of them are family, some of them are friends and whatnot. And I know for damn sure that they've joined the police force because they want to change it from the inside. They want to be the difference. I see a lot of Polynesian cops out there. I see a lot of Indian cops, Chinese cops. And these guys, the reason why they joined the police force, and you ask the majority of them, they want to change the system. They want to be the face that you can relate to. You look at our police force, it's you see a good mixture now. It's not just your typical old white guys, You see a lot of islanders, a lot of Maoris, it's quite well mixed. So we're getting there. We're on the right path. And so to change the policing system, you have to join it. You have to change it from the inside. And that starts from the police locker rooms. That starts from the training. That starts from just going out there and talking with the community. So, the father, he, you can see how much he loved the son, that he was willing to take a life for it. But the problem is like the cop that he killed could have been one of those good cops. It wasn't even the guy that gunned down his kid. What if this cop was one of the main liaison officers with the community? You've just taken that thread away. Nothing justifies taking another life. But it's just America, man. It's they're raised in that high stress environment. I wouldn't survive there, to be honest, if I went to the US. I couldn't do it, man. Like there are people that just have polarizing opinions and are willing to just pull out a gun and won't even sit down and have a chat about it.
American citizens wouldn't survive here in New Zealand as well.
Yo.
When you think about it, American citizens will not survive here in New Zealand or Australia. Maybe Australia.
Man,
I didn't say that. That wasn't me.
But yeah, it's just that situation just and it sucks when people
ugly,
glamorize
it. It's ugly.
Yeah, they glamorize him walking down and staring down the police officers' faces like it was a good thing that he killed that cop. Like, oh, bro, no, bro. If shit happens, the first people we call are cops, right? Someone comes and does something,
true.
it's like, bro, And if the cop sees this video and sees how much shit they were talking, they'd be like, nah, I don't want to answer that call. It is what it is, but like, it's just, yeah, you're right, Kaisar. Like, two wrongs don't make a right, and I think the police and the community need to just sit down and have a chat and be like, look, we need to change things. It's not working. But yeah, that's my 10 cents on it, man.
All the boys. Yeah, I watched it, and my first reaction, and rest in peace to the boy passed away, and also to the officer he got shot. I got run down. But my first reaction was like, man, good on him. And that was my first reaction. It's like, good on him. But to find out that I wasn't the actual cop that killed his son was like, man, what a move. Like, that's a big balls move. Because, yeah, like you guys have mentioned, like, what if that was the dude who's helped your family in the past? What if that's the dude who goes back to the community, looks after the community? But for the piece of shit that shot his son, like, it's going to come back on him, man. Like, because these are the bad pears in the bunch, bro. Like, those bad apples, bro. Like obviously the police department need to filter those sort of bukios out. It's the same thing that happened to that Sam when he got thrown. He got tasered. Literally was helpless, and then a little kick. Like it's all unnecessary force, man. Like to not even like it's a youth running, man. Like isn't this guy's life's been cut short? To the cop who shot him's a piece of shit, man. Like those sort of people deserve fucking whatever happens to them deserves something back at them, man. Because like you said, man, 6 seconds pulled out his gun and shot the dude. Like shoot him in the leg or something. Shoot him like from the waist. Like this kid would have been tall. Like you saying like you just happened to be like take a wild shot and you missed and he happened to pierce his lung or his chest or his heart that he died. Like that's ridiculous, man. It's probably like, yeah, America's, man, it is what it is. That's the life that these sort of people choose to live, But I mean, yeah, that has every right to, like, I don't feel it's right for anyone to say he shouldn't react like that because, if that was his only son, he's literally had his soul stolen from his heart, like his life just gone because the cop didn't try and talk the situation down. Why not get a dog? Why not bring a police dog? Why not let the chopper deal with him? But to pull out the gun and just shoot the kid, like, there goes good old America. I think this, like you said, Kaisar, like, we're lucky we got cops that don't walk around with pistols and stuff, man. But then, we got to count our blessings that we don't live in a society like that, right? But they are these bad cops, those ugly ones, And if you're one of those cops, man, change your ways, man. Be better. Do better. Like, fuck, man. Empty out the clip means literally empty it out by, like, taking it out with your fingers and putting it back on the shelf. Fuck. I'm fucking emptying it. Yes, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like emptying up the clip. That's what the bad raps on American police, right? That's pretty much what they're doing. But that's what I mean with Kiwi cops here. We've had a fair bad share with Kiwi cops, but they don't walk around with guns on their hips. So it's a talent to be for them to be in uniform and to talk down situations just verbally.
Yeah.
So America, you need to pay attention, man. Come down and get some training down here at the New Zealand police colleges down there. They'll teach you how to talk down a situation, not drop your nuts and then go straight for your hip.
Sexy boys. We'll get on to what have you been watching? Who's a good first?
Oh man, I've just been watching YouTube, I'm loving it,
Yeah.
So
Hello, fight the Wi-Fi goes out,
yo, solid facts. Now I watched this interesting video. It's called the Siege of Gibraltar. I don't know if you guys are good with geography, but the Mediterranean Ocean, how it opens up into the larger ocean. What is it? The Atlantic. So there's that small gap between North Africa and Spain. And there's this little, like, tiny peninsula called Gibraltar. Even to this day, it's still owned by the British. But anyway, during the 1700s, America was in the War of Revolution against Britain. And the Spanish and the French thought it would be a good idea to take this little bit away from England as well, while the main army is being sent overseas. But man, the rock, like there's this massive mountain on the peninsula. They call it the Rock of Gibraltar. So they put cannons up there, and they held off. But the documentary was more or less talking about, was this good for the British Empire to keep it, because they diverted like ships, they diverted troops, they diverted supplies to Gibraltar. And like a lot of the historians today say that if those supplies and troops and ships had arrived in America, would America be here today? Like, would it still be within Britain's hands and not independent? So it was really interesting documentary. So I was just watching that and running to check on the barbecue, come back, keep watching. But yeah, it was really interesting to watch. How about you, Kaisar?
Yeah, Man, just been watching. Yeah, same YouTube. Can honestly tell you right now, man, I'm hooked on those ghost fucking ghost.
Yeah.
Those ghost hunting shit, man. It's got me fucking curious now. It's like, damn, man, these white boys are crazy, eh?
Did you hear
There's so
that?
many of them, so many of them on YouTube, man. It's like, where to pick from, and then yet they
They're so good.
yeah, well, yeah. What is good though, because they're treading on sacred ground, eh? You know,
Yeah,
messing
true, true,
around
true.
with some taboo stuff, you know. So man, crazy. I've been watching a lot of that. One I was watching last night, man. Fuck, I went to work fucking half asleep. Sorry, man. I think his name's CJ Fasten, wasn't it?
Yep.
Some ghost hunter named CJ Fasten. Man, they went to this abandoned farm that's got a bit of history. And man, you had the cameras like turning 360s by themselves. You know, you had stuff thrown at them. You had shadows running, flipping in front of the camera while their back was turned. I was like, shit, is that CGI stuff or what? So man, I'm so hooked up, bro. I honestly have to tell you, bro. I wouldn't mind just going for a little walk around White Committee, man, because I don't have a look at this, boys. Have a look at this. I don't know if you guys know what one of these are,
Yeah, it's
but man,
just
Oh, so I'm keen, bro.
electromagnetic
I'm keen.
waves. Eh?
yeah, at night,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I'm keen.
early hours in the morning. Check this
No,
out,
no,
bro.
I'll come with you. I'm keen as to come with you, but we'll start at the train station. We'll start at
Yeah,
the
I heard
Polynesian
it's got a
train
bit of
station.
history there, eh?
Yeah,
But the,
yeah,
what do you call these? RFDB, some shit like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, look at that, eh? Far out. If
yeah.
this red lines, that means
yeah.
there's some fucking freaky
Like
deaky stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
That's
fucking Michael
what.
Myers around the corner or something, or fucking freaky Jason. You
So
Oh
if
know?
my
anyone's
God.
listening and
We
watching, man, you
we have
gotta
to
come
flip
and
back.
hold hands with us and say our prayers before we walk in. We want to welcome them. We want to post the date up here soon, guys.
It's kind of funny. I put it out to the viewers, man. If you've done any of those investigations out here in anywhere around Auckland or whatever, done some crazy shit, man, put it down, man. Comment down below. Let us know what happened. Let us know what worked for you and what didn't work. And if you got your ass kicked
Yo,
from some suspicious fucking energy,
so
because
that'll
that
be a
shit you just
comments
don't
corner.
play
Have
with,
you
man.
ever? Yeah, that'll be a comments corner. Have you encountered anything paranormal? And if you have, please share us your story.
No.
Yeah,
Just
hard,
felt a
hard,
chill
hard.
there. I just felt a
And then
chill here.
maybe you'll get one of these if you got some good shit going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'll be watching, man. I'm pretty hooked on it. So like after this, I'm gonna make a hot cup of tea if I can check out what's up. I like history, yeah, but when they started to do some ghost shit in history, they turned into some paranormal shit. I said, "Oh shit, damn!" But I seen a little bit on their white committee. Eh, that's
Yeah,
the biggest cemetery in New Zealand. Eh, fuck, that's like
that's
over 1,000
Yeah,
acres or something. Eh,
yeah.
man, I
So they
remember
got the
driving down there once a couple of times. Fuck it, the different sections, old, new, and then older, and then apparently they got an unmarked section where murderers in there are, right?
yeah.
Sorry,
It's a
man, some
tree.
freaky stuff, man.
they got some
There's
Yeah.
a
mass
mass
graves
grave
up there
there.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, from the
Hey,
influenza.
it's
Yeah,
the
it's from the
Spanish
influenza.
influenza. Yeah,
what
Yeah,
section is that on?
I think
Towards
that's
uh,
on the
the
top.
church, or
towards
is
the
that going
chapel,
towards that
the
old
chapel
church?
side, the small chapel side,
Up towards the fire station,
the
eh?
Gleneason side. Yeah, towards
Oh
the
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
right, because they had to come from the train station, and then
Yeah,
that's where they lobby them off. Oh, up that track.
yeah.
yo,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but there's so many.
sorry.
But man, like think of all the souls that are lost in there because it got that bad that they didn't even handle the paperwork properly. So
yo,
they were just literally just chucking them as soon as they were deceased. Literally hours later, chucked them on the train and they brought them up and they brought them up that back hill because where people always go do
Up back
off
hill.
roading up there. That's sad, man.
That's sad, all right? And I heard that cafe's haunted, eh? That's where the conductor got hit, eh? Got Oki on the
yeah, the
platform, eh?
hook.
On the platform, yeah, the
Yeah.
train station. That's sad, yeah, bro. That's freaky. But yeah, I'm keen, man. If you're keen.
There you go, New Zealand. Some history right there. There you go. I don't know, Leti. I'm fucking dropping my nuts in there. Every time you keep saying it, I think, oh, I don't know, man. Certainly, man. I might freeze. Crazy.
I haven't been watching much. I'll probably try to. Now I've just been trying to catch up on my sleep, man. Nah. And the only thing I did do try and watch last week was obviously the highlights. But nah, I've just been watching a lot of. Oh, actually, I've been watching a few like funny. So I got a YouTube page, my Ladies Barbers page, and I always celebrate New Zealand Music Month. So I always upload like a hidden gem, like especially like the old school stuff, like stuff that needs to be given, like a replay, like a play. Like to me, it's like if you can share that the New Zealand music that we have in New Zealand, then you appreciate New Zealand music. Like that's why I celebrate it. So I've been doing these posts for the last 3 years, and yeah, today's one was a special one, man. Uh, like music to me, like the sense of a smell and music to me takes me back to a memory, and it's usually really like a real strong one, eh? But yeah, shout out to Louis Tangaloa, man, because there's a point in my life last year where I felt like nothing was going right, and it just came over me. I was a bit overwhelmed, and I was just sitting at the lights, and the song came on because I got a snippet of it, and then I hadn't heard it, and then I just heard it, and then I just listened to the chorus and just listened to his verse, bro, and it just washed over me, like I just felt the Lord's love
Good song.
in that moment. That to me, like, bro, it's been the memory of the day, especially the start of the day when I was still at work. Come home and then share it on my page, and then he comment on it. Like I think Filippo added him to the page, and he commented on it. So now I was actually wanted to give him his flowers, for the month of May, because yeah, man, you gotta celebrate the music because it's an important month, man. Like I think May, Floyd Mayweather used to cash in on this month. It's also the month of May for Mother's Day, and because we celebrate New Zealand Music Month for the whole month. So now,
So so just off the top of your head, guys, who's your top three?
Oh, actually, that's the memory lane. But yeah, we'll get into the top three. We might as well do that now. We'll go artists or we'll go in songs. Your top 3 songs off the top of your head, bangers
For
Ooh.
like New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand. Bro,
New Zealand
should I
Music
go
Month,
first
yeah.
just to make you think
Yo.
list? How about that I don't know what is love. Had to be that one. That's one. My second one, it'd probably be every Tomorrow People song. That's my second one. Literally every song that Tomorrow People sing. And then shucks. Bro, I'm gonna drop it on here. I'm gonna say Louis Will Be Found Day. Will Be Found would be my top 3, bro. Yeah. Shucks, yeah,
Louis Tagalong song. Yo.
that's my jam, man. Like since I've heard it, it's just
Sure.
yeah. Even though I know I'm loving Connects and like Lums Brown, like Stay, like far stuff, bro. It's just powerful, especially Lums. Mad love to Lums, man, because I remember when lockdown and my daughter had her 9th birthday, man, and obviously when Nixon lived across the road, I asked him, "Oh, so you couldn't reach out to some artists to do a happy birthday to my daughter." And my daughter used to always gangi, man, and every time she gangi, I'd play Lums Brown and Sismas Ain't What I'm Looking For. It's this moment I'd play it, bro, she would just stop crying. And like that's how powerful music is, man. That's why I've always got to celebrate New Zealand music, hey. But yeah, check it out. You, Chucky. What's your top 3?
Probably shout out to 274 represent OMC, yeah, Paulie Fui man. Paulie, rest in peace, brother. Man, much memories there. How bizarre made the top charts in London and America. Man, you gotta pay homage, New Zealand Music Month. We gotta celebrate always. OMC 274 represent. Probably next one there is Sisters Underground. 274 represent again. Sisters Underground from Otar, the 2 teens, Brenda and Hashana. Brenda and Hashana
in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Man, another one is oh man, I forgot the band. The one that plays What's the Time, Mr. Wolf?
Southside of Bombay.
Southside of Bombay. Yeah.
Even there,
Southside of
all across the
Bombay.
world, man. Fuck, that's
Yeah.
hey. Like, see, man, that's
how
why we
to-
gotta celebrate New Zealand music, man, for the month of May, bro. Like,
got to,
especially like
got
that.
to.
Why that song in particular, Us? Because what is the beat your seat at the pub? Or when you're driving your radio, does the life ain't good? Oh yeah.
Nah, I was at the push bike there, so Walkman. Trying to tune in, the batteries are going flat, you know? Yeah. Bite the batteries just to stay on the channel. Yeah. So next one there, probably, shout out to Savage as well for Swing. Yeah,
the
those Savage, yeah. Scribe is another one. Not many, if any. And then the
Yo.
last one's pretty random, man, because it was quite annoying. Man, I was just a little flipping kid there, it's a little shit running around. But I always saw it on the TV advertising. That group, I think it's Pierce Form, when they were singing the theme
the
song for
Rainbow's End.
Rainbow's End.
I knew you were a
Yeah,
romantic guy.
You
man.
will see
Shout out
The
to those,
shade.
man. I was traumatized as a little kid because I couldn't afford to go into. I wasn't coming anywhere near that, except for the gates. So Pierce for me for doing that like an intro for Rainbow's End. Yeah, Pierce for
Nah, their music, bro. See, their music was the shit, man. First off, it's their first group of their kind. I felt.
Yeah, man.
the
That's a
fourth, man.
copy. High five, man.
The colorful
I was thinking, those guys, it's pretty hard to get, Yeah, so that's my pick. What about you? Let's
Is it,
get it on. Let's get it on.
I think it's the same group that they did the telephone session song. Sessions. I think it was there.
Fuck with the what? The telephone?
Yeah, New Year's, yeah.
New Year's
Is it
resolutions,
telephone?
was it?
Telephone or some shit like that, eh?
Nah, that's a
man.
cover. That's a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I like their version was good.
There's no news.
Yeah, that's the one.
that's that.
I forgot what it's called, man.
Yeah.
But I shared it
man.
literally just the other year.
That's the Kiwi band, eh? That's
Yeah.
a remake from the Kiwi band, eh?
Yeah.
Cause
Is it like
Yeah,
a Crowded House song? Or no, it's Split Ends.
Split
That's
Ends.
the one.
Yeah.
Split Ends. There you
Good
go,
stuff.
man.
Yo, cause
Yeah.
Split Ends.
one of the guys is my sister's ex partner's brother. So shout out to the Toe Ties, man.
The Pierce Form guy. Pierce Form.
Yeah. But
The Pierce Form.
I think my three would be Eddie's.
Yeah, bro. If I like
I like
you,
you.
bro,
Yo. Or the Lord is my light. Either one of those. Nisha Mystic. It's on.
oh man. Yo.
And this one's a fairly latest one. LAB. In the air.
Ooh.
Yo. So those would be my
Mm.
three.
See, I
for-
didn't have tons of feet now. Nah, there's a Can we run it back? Can we run it back then? Nah, dude.
So that's the playlist for the social days. Yeah.
That's
Cool
it.
socials. Cool
I know.
social.
Actually, last week I actually put the song list together, put it on YouTube. But then when I tried to make it public, it wouldn't share, man. I spent like 30 minutes trying to do that. But I'll make sure I do it, and I'll listen back to this one, and I'll put it back on the ATC NZ Music Month for the before the viewers to click on.
Yeah, man, that's
Nice.
crazy.
Sheki boys, that's our memory lane. Should we play our Fia Poko of the week?
Circumstances. Oh, I think you've got to.
What? Fuck! Fuck off! I'm on live telly. Fuck off out of it. Stay out of it. I want that fucking hell. Fuck off. Fuck. Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who my father is?
Why? Didn't your mother tell you?
Oh.
Chicken for $100. Ooh, hold on. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Let's see. That's KFC. 100% KFC. Gotta be.
What type of fat ass? I hate when black people play chicken games.
The taste is unique. Very unique.
There's a lot going on in this goddamn video. Why the white man directing it?
That's Publix chicken.
He could smell it?
Yup.
From the smell?
That's Publix, yes.
Shut up. You can smell it?
100%.
Don't eat.
Popeyes. This Popeyes right here, this is my favorite.
Oh, this dude good.
Yes. 100% Popeyes.
You just touched it.
You can tell. The way Popeyes make their chicken is different.
Dude, this dude's in a blindfold. What
He
the
touched the chicken like it was braille.
For sure, Popeyes.
Like you're reading braille. He touched the chicken that you could just. Wow.
That's churches. That's churches. Look.
This man read
Look,
chicken.
that's churches right there. Look at this. You see the cracks in between the chicken?
Yeah, you can out there read it.
They have a bigger crack in it than any of the rest of them.
baby unrestrained sitting on the base of the scooter. The infant is holding a bottle and has no helmet. And you can see the pair of riders travelling along the road with cars. The video was recorded at Tivoli yesterday afternoon, and anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Under Queensland laws, children can ride e-scooters if they are over 12 and under adult supervision.
Barrett gets back to his feet. The Blues just need to get it into touch. Sends it home. And it's tough. He couldn't get it. He shot, couldn't get it into touch. And so let's give him the Force a chance.
Excuse me. Higher! Sorry? You're gonna have to say it higher! Oh, right. What filling are you using? Prosciutto, butternut squash, truffle oil. That sounds good. Got that truffle oil now!
Big Sally had a laugh. Not me, Katie's got it. Katie! Now you got it.
Where the truffle oil is? Oh, let's go, yeah. More seasoning, please. Good work. Guys, has anyone seen my deboning knife? Sorry, Chef. No, sorry, Chef. Stop. No, I hit myself with the leg. Are you taking the piss? No. Then what the fuck is wrong with your voice? No.
Circumstances.
Hello,
Oh, I think you've got to.
Throwing it back at you boys, man. You got to put the Fia Poko of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, man. I think for me it would be the chef with the high pitched voice. Yeah, he got set up there. They're actually setting him up for the master chef. For the master chef. That's how he spoke. Say so. Yeah. Give it up for that one. And then the next one will probably be, man, just kick the ball, man. Let it go dead, man. So, yeah, probably that one, man. We've all experienced that one, I'm sure. Yeah. So those are my two picks.
Oh man, I'm gonna go for the guy that told us not to get out of the room while he was doing an interview on live TV. Come on, man. Like, even if you're gonna get a hiding from your parent, especially older parents, you're gonna get a hiding. They talk so nice and they smile, like, you know, they wrote up like, "Hey son, get us at the house," you know. But now this guy was just full on swearing, bro. That's, oh my god. But yeah, I'll go with that one.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm on side with both of you. Said the chef, bro. That was the meanest setup. Like, bro, that's something I would like orchestrate with my boys too. Like, so they build with this guy's, you know, see if that guy see if he drops his nuts. Because you gotta test people like that, you know. You can see if they're gonna be your energy or, you know, or are they gonna fold, you know? Because the moment they fold, yeah, don't invite their guy on the next car, you know? Just in case, you know, he might go, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," you know. They never apologize us. Nah, yeah, that's our Fia Poko of the week, boys. Our social media post of the week. I found a couple, man, and there was a brother and sister like reading English, and then a Leo who parked on the brick, and I think he wasn't meant to park there. But yeah, I thought the way she handled herself was brilliant, eh?
Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm giving you a ticket.
For what?
For one, you parked illegally, and two, your lights aren't on.
You can clearly see I'm a police officer. I'm here on official police business.
What does that mean?
Means I'm on police business. I can park wherever I want.
No, you're parked illegally.
not
You don't have your lights on. How are you at a call? Your lights aren't on.
They don't always need to be on.
When did that happen?
Why would my lights need to be on? for me to be
Because
able to
you
park where I want?
said you were at a call. You
So
were
I'm
on a
official
call.
police business.
No,
Don't
you
put words
just
in my mouth.
you said you got a call.
I said I was on official police business.
Oh, what does that mean?
Exactly what I said. Official police business.
Okay, sir, just let me do my job, okay?
You're not giving me a ticket.
Yes, I am.
You're not. You can't do. I'm clearly a police officer. We're on the same side.
You're parked illegally. That does not give you a right, because you're a police officer, to park illegally.
Ma'am, I was on official police business.
I understand what you're saying, but you are parked illegally. Your lights are on. When you're at official police business, your lights are supposed to be on.
Look, I get this little power trip you're on. I don't know what you went through. What got you here. Now, this little bit of power you give me and exercise it on. I promise you're exercising it on the wrong person.
I'm just doing my job.
You're not doing your job. If you were doing your job, you would have left the police car alone. Clearly, I'm a police officer. Clearly, this is a police car. You have no reason to be issuing me a ticket.
Okay.
He's doing a great job, by the way.
抱他 about Temu today teacher student 还有一个香妃的 aft 问夫的 after
Sometimes I talk to my kids and it feels like I'm speaking Chinese. Get up and do it now means now, not 10 minutes ago. These are the two posts this week. I thought, man, this got a good share.
Yep.
Sure, boys, we'll finish up with some last words.
Yeah, last words. Yeah, once again, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there for Mother's Day today here in Okalangi, New Zealand. Much love. Also, sending loved ones. Love out to also mothers and grandmothers that are in the kingdom present and the ones that are passed on as well. So, Fatman really atua. Yeah, much love and respect. Amen.
Happy Mother's Day. My last words would be just probably spend more time with family. Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever's day, just time. Just invest that time. And, you know, when the person passes on or if you pass on, it's time well spent. So, yeah, just hang with your family more. Life's short and unpredictable.
Sure, boys, just wanted to take this opportunity just to thank all the viewers and listeners, especially to producer Cams. It's been 3 years since I jumped on here, and it was sort of just it was meant to be just a one-off. And yeah, special acknowledgement to Easy E and also Avs and Mr. International. But yeah, especially the Cams, man, because the work that he puts into the network and everything he does goes unnoticed. But to all those who do tune in, we appreciate you guys, man. And man, and the fire still burns deeply to jump on here every week. I think I've only missed like maybe three episodes in the whole time we've been that was like May 6th 3 years ago. So my last words is man, celebrate, like the boy said, man, celebrate your small wins and spend your time, your quality time with your loved ones. No one's promised tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers here and the ones who have celebrating in heaven. We miss you and we love you guys and we appreciate you guys to the death. Get it late in the love it. So boys, so there wraps up our show. Be sure to catch more of our crew on the 135 Footy Show, the podcast, the Magic Round Run-Up, the Waz down the Broncos, also the Counter Rock, Round 12 still alive, the Blues still alive, and of course producer Cam's the self-titled podcast, the Cam's Schuster podcast, for your sporting gossip. Catch the boys on the 135 channel. We'll see the version of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 4. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, share. Help shed the love for the WesWes Network, where we give our Pacifica point of view here in one shot, no retraction. So yeah, that's about does it, boys. Sweet as Usos, you know what it is. Let's get the puck out of here.
Yo.
Peace.
Peace, brother.
Sure.